So hey guys, today I'm coming to you. I think it's the 21st. It's Tuesday. We saw yesterday that oil prices went negative, and I was saying that about a month ago, talking about how oil prices could go negative. So just say, well, we do have a little bit more pressure coming in, and I'll explain why this happened. So what happened is that a lot of times in markets, people use paper contracts, so people buy futures contracts in order to just to trade, like paper trade. And what happened is that people were buying future contracts, but they didn't understand that if if people can't sell it, they have to take physical delivery of it. And with today's market, all of the tank farms and pipelines and stuff, they're pretty much full to capacity. And the people yesterday, they basically were told by the company as well, you're going to have to take it. And then the companies who basically could store it basically told them, well, if you can't take it, you have to pay us a certain amount of money for it. And basically what happened is that people who had spreads, just say paid $20 to long it, end up having to pay another $40 to close out their contract. And that's how we end up getting into that negative oil price that you saw over there. And it's all because of futures trading, and that's just normal stuff. So what I'm seeing over here, could be another area. If we look at what's happening in the futures market, another area we could look at is gold. And the same thing that happened with oil, whereas there is an oversupply and under demand, what's going to happen if with gold, though, there is an undersupply and over demand? So what could happen is that right now we're going into the market and we're trying to buy gold. You're going online and you're saying that you have to wait until they get supplies so that they can send it to you. Now, if you really want gold, you could actually go into the futures market and buy a futures contract and say, hey, I'm going to take delivery of it. And now going that way is going to be pretty good. Eventually, you could get it once these companies don't go bankrupt. But what could happen is that if you decide to take delivery and other people decide to take delivery and there's a shortage, and we see gold miners are basically called essential services now because there is there is they need gold. What could actually happen is that because there's probably a lack of gold in the system, gold price could actually probably go up like crazy. Just like how oil prices went negative, we could probably end up seeing gold prices go like 200%, 300% more in this market. So this is just my opinion. It's just my thoughts. I am not a financial advisor, but just like looking at what happened in the oil market where basically the futures contract forced it down because we had no place for storage. Right now, if a lot of people take delivery, we don't have enough gold, and that's just going to send the price higher because now people who actually were shorting the contracts have to come out and basically pay us for our gold if we do buy gold futures. With regards back to the oil, sorry about this, going back to the oil, what I'm looking at is like we could probably buy USO oil contract. It's a USO is the oil ETF. I don't believe that oil prices will stay down here forever. Eventually, markets will basically adjust. Companies will go bankrupt. Oil supplies will come back to normal. And owning the USO ETF, which is pretty cheap, once all these bankrupt companies go out of business, you're going to have oil basically normalize. And in a time like this, I would be looking at the USO as an easy way to get in. I would basically buy it. I wouldn't do if you're really good, you can probably buy some calls, but we don't know how long this will take. I would say eventually, when you own enough, you could probably do some cover calls on it. But other than that, the USO looks pretty good. If for the long run, we're not talking about now, it could still go down more because I see in June we'll probably have more pressure. You could probably get negative $100 oil in June. So that's something to see. That's to see what's going to happen in the future. But other than that, I just update. I'm actually driving now. I had to try to figure out a way to come back to you guys. But I'll probably do another one coming up again, probably next week. I'll see what I can do with that one. But anyway, you guys take care. Have a good day.